Ever snap at someone or get set off by a comment and go, oh my God, that reaction was way bigger than it needed to be? That's a trigger. It happens to everyone, and most people avoid facing it, but not you, not anymore. Because here's the truth, triggers are teachers. So if you're done spiraling over someone else's success, obsessing when a text goes unanswered, this video is for you. I'm gonna reframe triggers and share 3 simple steps to release them. Because when you do, life is gonna feel so much more calm and so much more flowy. Let's go. First, a quick note. When I say trigger in this video, I'm talking about everyday emotional responses like getting irritated, being offended, judgy, overreacting, and being bothered by it hours later. I am not referring to PTSD or other serious trauma responses which require professional support. Okay, so why do these triggers happen? It's usually not about what happened, it's about what got activated in you. When your nervous system associates a present moment with a past wound that's still raw, it sounds the alarm. You might feel annoyed or anxious because your body is trying to get your attention to keep you from repeating a negative situation. The thing is, even though we've all been hurt, not everything triggers us, and different things trigger different people. That's because it's the unprocessed hurt that carries a charge, and when that gets tapped, we get triggered. This is why triggers are teachers. They alert us to where we can heal or grow. That is the reframe. Triggers are not problems, they're pointers, so pay attention. Let me share an example to bring this to life. I was working with a client who had blocks around posting on social media. This is really common, by the way, so if you have similar blocks, you're definitely not alone. Now, she would regularly get bothered by seeing other people post on certain topics, and she'd simmer on who are they to talk about this, which held her back from posting. On the surface, it sounds like she's referring to incompetent or unqualified people, and don't get me wrong, there are plenty of those. But when we went deeper, it turned out that she was triggered because them posting tapped a sensitive area for her. And that was around all the ways that she holds back in her life because she doesn't feel ready enough, expert enough, or good enough. It wasn't actually about the poster or what they're talking about. It was about her own fear of getting something wrong, of not being perfect, of being judged. The reason that triggers are teachers is because they are mirrors. They reflect where you have stuck energy, where there are parts of you waiting to feel safe or be seen. So what do we do about this? Well, the goal is to shift from reacting to responding. And we can do that in 3 simple steps. First, we gotta name it by noticing it. When we label something, we shift out of emotion and into logic. Something as simple as, I'm feeling really activated right now, can do the trick. Once we've named it, we get curious and ask, what is this really about? What might this be reminding me of? Examples can be ruminating for days because you weren't invited somewhere, and sure, that might not feel good to anyone, but if you're not able to move past it, it may be because it's activating an old wound of never feeling included. Or maybe it's spiraling after getting constructive feedback from your manager. It's not really about the feedback. It's because of a long-held belief that you're not good enough, which isn't true, by the way. Once you know what you're feeling, you wanna give it some love. You wanna validate what's coming up. Because, as crazy as it sounds, feelings are for, drumroll, feeling. Feelings are for feeling. Talk to this trigger like it's a kid that just wants to be heard. Acknowledge that it makes sense for it to show up because of what's happened in the past. It is there to keep you safe, just like every other nervous system response. Then what we want to do is move our body to literally move that old story up and out. 'Cause think about it. If you had a strong reaction to something a long time ago, but you had to hold it in, you couldn't release it, you couldn't express yourself, where do you think it went? Nowhere. It stayed in your body because you couldn't let it out. So we want to go for a walk, maybe dance, maybe have a pillow fight, scream into a pillow, cry into a pillow. Don't use a pillow, maybe. Maybe you can do what you needed but didn't get when the original hurtful event happened. Whatever that helpful thing is, do. Look, we all get activated, and if we use each trigger as a teacher, we can seriously heal, grow, and shift to a whole different level. I hope this video helps you start doing that. If this lit something up in you, you can let me know through a comment. You could hit like, you can subscribe to keep getting more. And with that, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.